Yo, what is good, everybody?
What's
I
up?
mean, been a while since we had done this. I mean, you know how it is. The name is self-explanatory. Welcome to another episode of the Eagles Top Podcast. I am joined by Tyler, who's my other half of the Philly Sports Top Podcast. Joining with us is Further AM, or a lot of people, because let's be real, who's excited for Eagles fucking football for 2022?
I definitely am, for sure. Definitely am. What I've seen in the preseason, I'm expecting some exciting football coming in.
Absolutely. But before we get in today's episode, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe to you guys new, share out the content. Every little bit helps to grow the channel. So let's get some talk to Eagles football. So with week one about to be underway for most teams, with the Eagles taking all the lines. Now, I would say too, for me, I think the Lions are going to give. I would say they're going to give the Eagles a bit of a problem, and I'll say why. Because the fact they're going to get some of their good players back healthy. Know what the Detroit Lions. It's not, even though the Detroit Lions say, "Oh, it's going to be a cakewalk." I would disagree, because if you looked at some of the games that they played last year, they can hang with the best. Novara, it's like can't. Well, I don't know if they play. No, even though we steamrolled them, but in certain plays, like they just know how to be. They're very scrappy, and I think that's why I think the way that Dan Campbell has his team, has the Lions really, kind of be emotionally bought into. It's just, I think the Detroit Lions, if you're just a general football fan, you should be excited for the Lions. It's just how much improvement that's being made this year.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be one hell of a game, week one. I do have some keys here for this 2022 season. I feel like the entire season, especially this game, it's gonna rest on Jalen Hurts.
Absolutely.
I feel like if he develops more, we're gonna have a killer season under Jalen Hurts at the helm.
Yeah, because for me, I think we all can agree this is a make it or break it year with him.
It is.
I think we could all agree across the board.
Yeah, that's why he was given that 1 year contract, because Howie Roseman's like, look, if you don't develop, we're gonna find somebody else, and we're gonna find somebody better, hopefully. But here's Jalen Hurts' 2021 stats. He amassed over 3,000 yards, which is good. He had 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. His passer rating was pretty good, which 87.2. Could be better. But his quarterback rating, though, 54.6. Wow.
Yeah.
And it just shows you that he has room to develop. If he develops further this season, sure, give him another extension.
Because I think there's something there with him, even though he has shown flashes to be not like these elite quarterbacks, like a Patrick Mahomes, not a Josh Allen, but somebody that can be like a Michael Vick kind of quarterback. That's somewhere
Here's the thing, Rob. I don't really want a Michael Vick kind of quarterback. Michael Vick was run first, and I don't think he ever made it to Super Bowl. Ever.
You know what Michael Vick's problem was? He was just injury prone. He got
that's another.
That was another issue too.
He got hit from running the ball. He was always injured, and I wanted to see big things from Vick. He had the arm, he had that passing talent, and he had the run. But as soon as he got hit, it was over for the rest of the season. And you saw it year after year after year, and so that was the sad story about Michael Vick.
Yeah,
got all that speed, but you're just you're a glass jaw.
Yeah, you're like,
that's one way to put it.
At this point, you're made of glass, and there's nothing you could do about it. Nothing that the team could do about it. I mean, it's your play style, but the thing is, Jalen Hurts has to pass first. Honestly, he's got to pass first, because I don't want a guy that's made of glass.
No, because man, we dealt with that. We dealt that once before. We
dealt with that from Carson Wentz, and look how that turned out.
Oh boy!
Remember when Jalen Hurts got hit during preseason?
Oh yeah, that one large.
Dude, that got me worried. I was like,
oh my god, I got so scared.
We already saw,
but
the fact that Taylor come out. You know,
Mhm.
we've seen these quarterbacks get banged and they're getting carted off the field already, from the Panthers to the Jets. You know, I can go on, you know, and I saw that hit with Jalen Hurts and I was thinking to myself, oh, no, please, no,
With the
get
fact
him
that you
out of
got
me. What are y'all doing?
But the
He's
fact
like,
that
no,
This is
don't be hurt,
preseason.
don't be hurt, no.
Yeah. We're not
Like-
even going to give him a chance this year.
Exactly.
He's not even going to start. No, unfortunately, he was okay. So he's
well,
not
unless you don't
exactly
piss
like
off Nick
Vic, who can
Sirianni,
take
because
a
we.
bang.
That man went off. He was like,
Oh boy!
he was dropping F-bombs left and right.
Like literally, you can read
He
that
was
man's lips.
He was literally yelling across the field, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck.
Like
I'm like, damn.
That's, I mean, it's just really, you know, with this how this team is. Let's be real. Probably, I think this on paper, this is like the best team we've ever seen. Let's be real. What since what the Super that once our Super Bowl team
Since Super
maybe.
Bowl. Since the Super Bowl team, yeah.
Yep.
Because and even on in the preseason, those preseason games when the starters started on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball, they looked like a championship team the way they played.
Absolutely.
And I feel like if they play like this throughout the regular season, they're going to shock the world again.
Yeah. But like you said, Tyler, about the keys, so which I do have put up on the screen, so we go all give our keys. For me, like you said, I think all across the board, Jalen Hurts has to be passed first, you know, and just well, knowing that it was Shane Steichen is going to be the play calling man, pretty much the main guy calling the plays. I mean, and you know, kind of going back, and Jalen Hurts looked pretty good with the deep ball. You know, especially in week 1, and you know, I think if Shane Steichen can work with that. And implement some screens and stuff like that, and just try to be very creative, which is something that I think, you know, should be not just for the game, but just for this entire team. You got to be creative with your plays, not just offensively, but defensively. That also applies to Gannon too, which
I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts didn't improve. He improved from 2020 because his 2020 passer rating was 72.6, with a 33.8 QB rating.
Yeah,
and I know it was a short sample size because they still had Wentz and Wentz
the fire
got benched and that mess happened late in the season, but he still improved from 2020, so he has that dog in him to keep improving. So if he keeps improving, well, look out because we're coming.
Not to mention, too, you also got A.J. Brown, Quez Watkins, Devontae Smith, just your top 3 receivers.
Have weapons across the board, from left to right on that field.
And one of the, I mean, look, let's be real. I think a top 10 offensive line, which, let's be real, like whoever thought our offensive line would have been good, would be consistently good the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, which I have not seen that in a long time, because most of the time the O line has been, let's be real, somewhat inconsistent the last, you know, before last year.
And we also drafted a dog at defensive end or at the defensive line.
I mean, it's been a decade, and we were literally begging Howie to draft an offensive line every single year. And finally, you know, we got so lucky to get Mulata to replace Peters. And look at how that was going to be a project. We didn't even think it was going to work out. And now we want him to run in for a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. This athleticism is second to none.
And I admire Mailata for his improvement year by year by year since he got drafted. He went from a guy who didn't even know how to put on a football pad to being one of the best linemen in the game.
Like in that short amount of time span for a guy who's coming from rugby of all things, where they don't wear any pads, it just, and we've seen it, like the skill set he has. I think for him to be at the left tackle, it's like, and not just that too. I mean, and we still got Jason Kelsey, God, that's going to, well, let's just, you know, the fact that, you know, he knows he's on his last legs, and the fact that he realizes that, and not to mention the last couple of years, we actually drafted pretty well.
And the thing is, speaking of Kelsey, he had a hand at drafting his successor.
That is correct.
He had a hand at
Dickerson. That's going to be a huge asset. I hope to see him maybe.
Not just Dickerson, he also got Cam Jerkins too. That kid's going to be fucking special.
These guys, they have depth to work with now.
Yes.
Absolutely.
At the line, because now you have like Kelsey's on his last leg. He's going to retire soon. You got a quality guy that could start behind.
Yeah.
You could start him after he retires.
I
It's
heard a
great.
rumor that maybe Kelsey might actually be joining the Philadelphia Eagles coaching. What do you
If
all
that's
think
the
about
case,
that?
sign me up for that.
I would not
Right?
mind that at all.
Right?
Or have it, or
That man has that dog in him, and he has that heart,
not just
and I feel like he could coach a team. For him to
actually,
He's
join
going
the
to be our
Philadelphia
next
Eagles?
Deuce Staley.
you know what?
He'd be Deuce Staley. He'd
I think he would.
he'd literally be Deuce Staley.
If for me,
Because-
I think, yeah, not. Or you could think of this: you put him in the scouting room because he knows how to scout potential
be-
good, great
He
talent.
he could be a scout. He could also be a coach. Make him do both.
Yeah, he
Because-
can convince players, go to colleges and talk to him and say, hey, man, we got a great program over here at the Eagles. Would you be considered that we're interested in drafting you? Would you like to come to be a part of the Philadelphia Eagles organization? This is huge factor. This is almost like what you guys are referring to, like back in college when you recruit the high school kids. You can use now Kelsey to get these draft picks to get them over to the
Absolutely.
Philadelphia Eagles. So
Yes.
this is great. This is really huge.
Because I'm thinking it this way: because we all know that Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Will Levis is pretty much going to be the face front. Those are the top three quarterback prospects that any team that wants. Now, I mean, I feel like there's another guy. A lot of people sometimes, for me, I think are sleeping on is Will Anderson from Alabama. We know how great Alabama can be. You know, all the talent they pumped out. No, AJ, no, wrong school. Devontae Smith. Holy crap! I'm sorry because I hate it because being Alabama's one of Alabama's right. Well, actually no, but let's talk. But I mean, Alabama has a track
I
record.
know what you're referring to, the national championship, right, with Clemson and Alabama.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm sorry, my brain is just stuck in.
You're fine.
I don't
Help it
even
out.
want to talk about that game as a Clemson fan.
But-
Oh, man.
But looking at what Alabama, they have a good. I mean, you got Nick Saban. Let's be real. The fact that he realized coaching the NFL is not going to work. Turns and then goes to Alabama. Turns that into a football powerhouse.
God, they're literally
Right.
like the Patriots of goddamn college.
College football. I mean, that's the way you get the best way to. Because I mean, really think about it, because they produce good. Not just Alabama. I mean, you have Oklahoma has pumped out some talent, which is a sleeping school. Vanderbilt, not so much, because Vanderbilt, for me, when you think of Vanderbilt, you're thinking baseball, because they just know how to pump out talent.
In basketball too, sometimes they get that.
Right, I forgot about that. I forgot about basketball too, but it's just like baseball is their main, focus.
Correct. Yeah.
Clemson, let's be real, has pumped out some underrated talent. I mean,
The last few years for college football for Clemson has been red hot.
Mhm.
And that defense, though, oh my god.
I mean, if I'm like Kelsey, or like not just Kelsey, but like the Eagles scouting, try and take a look at some of these guys, like Breezy, for example, on that part of that front seven. That kid, I shit you not. I think that's one of the. I would keep my eye on that kid.
Yeah, I would keep my eye on Breezy and the linebackers.
The
if
linebackers has
were
been
Philly.
interesting.
If the linebackers in Philly don't work out, I would probably draft a linebacker.
And you know what's great? It's Cincinnati's doing all right this year. They're ranked, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
Cincinnati's right.
I know the
Jason
secondary. I
Kelce
know.
is from Cincinnati,
Right. I forgot about that.
so
That could be an interesting. That'd be an interesting thing, because
correct.
I think I don't know how good their secondary is going to be. So, that Sauce Gardner is no longer there. So I mean, like college football nowadays. I mean, we've seen like there's going to be some underrated talent coming out of no matter if it's like, I mean, you got Kentucky, you got we all know Alabama, Oklahoma. Don't sleep on USC. I think USC is going to be one of those teams that's going to make some noise in college football, because let's be real, you got Caleb Williams, you got Lincoln Riley. I don't know who else has got over there, but I feel like Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be. I feel maybe even not this year. Probably I don't know where if Caleb Williams is I don't know where he's listed as in college football, but that's I think if he just decides to go to the draft, I think that's another quarterback prospect a lot of teams should take a look on, because let's be real, somebody it's hard to say with some of these rookie quarterbacks. You don't know what you're going to get. I mean, perfect example. I mean, shit. We even college football, me and Tyler knew what Trevor Lawrence was all about. The kid had all the skill set.
The kid has poise. The kid has that arm on him. He has the potential to run around guys, with his legs. He's very good, but he's mainly known as a guy who can pass the ball, and he was a great passer in Clemson.
And unfortunately paired him with the wrong coach and just had a shit rookie season.
You paired him with a really terrible coach, a team with a really terrible offensive line.
It's just
and he made mistakes because he was rushing passes because of the line. But now, because he could run around a little bit, but he's mainly a pocket passer.
Exactly. I mean,
so he's going to get hurt. And I was worried all season.
Think of this too. I mean, for me, I thought this too. Like if Jalen Hurts doesn't work out, I don't know where we are because we have two first round picks. I mean, if we don't wind up trading Minshew, I say keep him. It's like for another year, try to see if we can build up his value a little bit and get something better in return for Minshew. Because let's be real, Minshew's not. I
don't even know why he's even a backup.
Exactly.
I don't know why.
I think it was from last year. Wasn't Hurts out for that one game and Minshew came in and
that was against the Jets.
And everyone was whoa, Minshew magic.
Yeah,
he sprinkled some Minshew magic in that game.
But a guy in college, since we're talking about hypothetically, and I'm not saying that this is going to be anywhere we might not even be able to get him on the Eagles, but keep an eye out for Drake May. He's on UNC. If anybody watched UNC last week, this man already has 9 TDs and almost 700 yards already in the season.
Right.
I think he put up 63 points last week. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think it was
he's just throwing bombs down there. He's 6'5". He's got great height at 6'5". He weighs 220. I mean, this is an ideal someone that you should look at prospect in the NFL.
And that's now my thing is like I haven't watched UNC games, so I mean, is he just a pocket passer, or does he have can run out of the pocket, be like a scrambler?
Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So far, pocket awareness is amazing, but unfortunately, UNC doesn't have much of a good defense. But so far, his passing has been amazing. So keep an eye out for Drake May on UNC. He might.
Trust me.
He's looking better than who was the guy who got drafted for the Commanders, who's a backup.
Sam Howell.
Yes, who was from UNC, who was supposed to be the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, it was.
He didn't turn out so well for him, did it?
No, he didn't.
I feel like Sam Howell is a decent talent. I think he can do well with Washington. Because let's be real, Heineke, like I said, we all know that he's nothing special. I mean, he's still an average backup at best.
Yeah, but he's not.
But Heineke has his moments. I'll give him that.
But Rob, can you bring up that one comment Mitch just wrote about Uncle Rico?
Oh, God, Uncle Gene.
Mitch, let me tell you something. Gardner Minshew can throw a football over them mountains. I mean, this season's really interesting because it's like, we're seeing a total revamped Eagles team, both offensively, defensively. I mean, in fact, you have with all the offseason acquisition, James Bradbury, Hassan Reddick. Now you got Kaiser White, and this kid, Kaiser White. Do not sleep on him. And what makes me excited was the drafting of the two Georgia dogs because oh my God, they're both as advertised.
Absolutely, and which is funny too. And people and a lot of the not like us football fans, even analysts always had issues with Davis's motor. We didn't see that problem, now did we?
We didn't see that problem at all. He's like triple team, bull rushing guys.
Like it's just like I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be like the second. Like this is what I think what Fletcher Cox was in his prime years.
I looked at him. I'm like, we took him in the second round or the first round?
Davis was first round. He was 15th overall.
I was like, you're damn right. He was a first round.
Because you had
It was great.
two interesting defensive players on the board. You had Davis and Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
Now my thing is like, do I like where do you want to go? But I think it's like,
but let me tell you something. The one guy that I was excited about was the linebacker Nakobe Dean.
Yes, I agree.
How this man played in preseason. Oh my God. I'm excited.
We got him and Dean to
Yeah.
Nakobe Dean
you got
and
Kaiser
Jordan
White.
Davis on the
Yes.
same draft class. That was amazing. I didn't think I was just praying that Howie would get one guy from Georgia, but to get
But two,
Howie
Right,
Roseman
with
was
that
like
defense,
God.
who won
Howie
them the
Roseman was
national
God
title.
tier. Howie Roseman was God
No,
tier in that draft.
no, I think
Oh, God.
and call me crazy. I think that injury thing was a smokescreen for let Dean to fall in the third round because let's be real, any team could have taken him in the first round, but the fact that the Eagles stole him in the third round.
The thing is,
I don't know about you guys, but weren't you guys like I was pacing in circles?
Like I was fucking
Oh
doing
my
myself.
God, we were scared. Me and
There's
Rob were.
something wrong with them.
and
They know something
were
we
scared.
don't know.
We were
Why hasn't
thinking-
there been any medical reports about these people drafted them? They know something. I was like
Like
pacing back and forth. I was like,
because
what
it
is
was nervous.
I was like, there's something up with Dean if he's not getting drafted yet. And then somehow he falls in our lap in the third round and he's a dog.
He thought,
Yeah, because I was like, why don't we get him in the second round? And we didn't draft him. We got Dickerson, right? And so I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, oh my God, no one's still getting him. And it's going to the third round now. And still
Yeah.
no one's picking him up. And him to fall in our lap like
Exactly.
that was a blessing.
He just fell right in our breadbasket. Like we just got him. I'm like, oh my
Right.
God.
That
yeah,
was great. And this matchup, we get to see Bradbury. I can't wait to see him. He's going to be covering Reynolds or Shark. I'm not sure. And then you got Darius Slade covering one, either or vice versa. So, we pretty much got the lockdown on Goff for passing. And we really, what I'm thinking about the key matchup this Sunday is probably going to be Hawkinson's, the tight end for the
Hey, now.
Lions.
yeah, TJ
Because he
Hawkinson.
was a Pro Bowler last year. He's their best offensive. He's, the guy you got to look out for. We got to make sure that we get White or Dean or Reddick on him. Make sure we got him covered because that's going to be who Goff is going to be throwing to.
Oh my God, man! Like our defense is going to be so stellar.
Oh, our defense is
Oh,
Like,
Rob
but-
broke up.
not just Hawkinson. Don't sleep on Ross St. Brown. That's another guy that could go off for the Lions because he's their pretty much their number one guy when it comes to the risk. Well, along with Hawkinson, but I mean,
Yeah, that's going to be also. He's going to be covered by Maddox.
the fact we get Bradbury to him, that's fucking nuts.
Yes, it is. It really is. I'm looking forward to it. And what's crazy is we have the number one, rushing defense, and it only got better from last year. And they have running back Swift, who's really great running back.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
it's interesting to see how that's going to play out. And also, Goff uses him, Swift as a wide receiver too. He will be throwing to the running back Swift. So, it's going to be interesting how it all plays out. This really is going to be Goff's moment to see if it's a make it or break it for him. If his confidence level's back, is he going to show up? Is he going to be the Lions guy? Is he the number one draft pick? Should he have been the number one draft pick? These questions will all be answered soon. And the Lions defense on passing is not one of the best in the league. It's ranked. Their passing defense is 28 last year. And their rushing defense was ranked 26.
Yeah.
So
Oh, good Lord.
24. It was either 24 or 26. I can't remember on the top of my head, but it was, not the top 20.
I think it was 24th.
So we like the co-host said, we should be seeing Jalen Hurts successfully passing the ball. And I'm seeing these articles out today that Jalen Hurts will have a great game rushing the ball. And they were talking about our last matchup last year, him rushing for 70 yards against the Lions. And we rushed, I think, a total of a little over 200 yards last year against the Lions. So, I want a 200-plus rushing team.
Yeah.
But I see a little bit less on the Jalen Hurts running. Let's see him pass. We got the talent now. We got A.J. Brown. We got Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith coming back for his second year. He should be even better than last year. Let's see that.
You can have Quez Walker as your ex receiver.
Right. I'm predicting Goddard to make the first touchdown. Let's see Goddard. I really want him to have an 800-plus season this year. So this is a game for him to get all our wide receivers, our tight ends, even our running back, to get all those stats just right off the start, week one. It's got to happen because their defense isn't really – it's not worth talking about. They're just not there. They're not top 20 defense. We should see our offense just ball out tomorrow. And at the end of the day, we're going to put up more points because we have the defense. They do not. What do y'all take on that?
Absolutely. And the fact that
I wholeheartedly agree.
I mean, the fact absolutely 100%. But the fact that not just offensive, but look at what we saw defensively in the preseason. You saw Jordan Davis get triple teams. He beat the triple team and actually still knows how to get past your defenders. You got Kaiser White, mostly known to be a sideline to sideline kind of linebacker, even to Kobe Dean, and we see it. And we see what these guys are capable of. I mean, we know what we get an understanding what TJ Edwards is as a linebacker. Now we had who was it? Oh, I mean, I'm trying to think. Who's that one safety we picked? Did we pick up in free agency? I think it was. We got
rid of.
No,
Harrison.
No, it's not Reddick.
You're talking about safety.
Yeah, safety. Fuck what?
Gardner Johnson.
Dude, his name is Gardner Johnson. Wall.
Johnson.
Because we Gardner Johnson. Thank you. I could not think of his goddamn name.
Yeah, didn't we just pick him
up?
But
the fact that Howie decided that's twice he fleeced a goddamn safe with 2 draft picks to get him. But when we traded Rager, we got those 2 draft picks back from Minnesota. It's just like basically we just pretty much got him for free. If you really look at it,
we finessed 2 teams.
The fact it's just like, Mike.
How we finessed 2 teams for
well, but the other thing too is also ironic that
I was going to go off your comment, Rob, about
not just that too.
Jordan Davis, where you said he was triple teamed. Do you remember during the preseason game where there were 4 people covering Jordan Davis, and then the Browns game?
Yeah,
absolutely. He ran from the right side of the field all the way over to the left and almost sacked the dude.
Beats him.
That was amazing highlight.
Yeah, Jordan Davis is a dog, and I expect big things from him.
He's
for
fast.
The Eagles.
Because I feel like he's going to be this, and I said this too. I think this man's going to be the successor to Fletcher Cox when he's all said and done.
Yes,
and Cox's career is done. Because I feel like if you remember what Cox was in his prime, it's actually the exact same skills, the same size, athleticism. Now I know Cox is not the same player as he used to be, but having these guys like a Cox, a Brandon Graham, a Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey to help mentor these, because once those guys are gone, it's a whole young team. I mean, it's gonna be very interesting what this future is going to look like. Now, I think the best case scenario for this team on paper, I think we could reach the NFC Championship, and I think that's where I think we can definitely. I think we might trip up on the finish line. That's where I will see this team on paper. Now, let's just. I think I think that would be an amazing season, and try to build off of that going down the road and start adding some different pieces. I mean, now my thing is like, do we really need any more pieces though? That's.
Well, I'd say another tight end for Dallas Goedert.
If we talk about right, because Richard Rodgers is gone. I forgot about that.
It's things from Calaterra. I just don't see it there in the preseason. So I'm hoping Calaterra really shows us something that he can be the backup
Yeah.
for Goddard, because during preseason he did not. He drew that
No,
fumble
I mean,
that caused the a
because I
pick
feel like
six.
because Richard Rodgers was actually a pretty decent backup to guard.
Right.
Absolutely. Not just that too. I mean, I think for me, I thought Richard Rodgers was a decent backup to Goddard. You know what I mean? It's just like
I
it's
agree.
come full circle. Like we've seen, no. Before
My dude, you were frozen for like a hot minute.
Woo,
yeah,
right
sorry, sometimes
Glad you're
StreamYard
back.
is acting like a little buggy. But gone back to what I was saying, because if you really think about it, because Selleck was on his Wi-Fi connection. Good lord. But like I said, kind of go back to my thought was that we know that Selleck was not going to last. It just wanted to go to shit, basically. So kind of go back to finishing my thought once again before technology kind of brutally interrupted me. Because Selleck was on his last legs when we had Ertz. Dude, StreamYard's got this internet connection. I swear to God.
Every time you go to say a thought, it just freezes.
It's just like nah. It's like fuck your thoughts, pretty much.
What you gotta say?
But
Dude,
looking at everything
you get right to the point
as
and
an
then all of a sudden it
entirety,
just kills them.
I will say to try to go. I'm trying to think.
Bro, I don't care. We're keeping this in.
It's just like
I
nope.
feel bad for you, Rob, because you got this point and I want to hear it.
Wait, like I was saying before, everything's been kind of going up to shit. So,
there it is again.
God damn, I cannot get straight to the point because fucking StreamYard wants to fucking shit.
Every time.
God damn.
Are you on?
Like, I got a strong. I'm on my Chromebook with a strong internet connection up here, but for some reason, StreamYard doesn't want to fucking work with me.
All right.
But I'm saying, like I was saying, that Selleck was on his last legs.
Selleck was
even
retiring.
We had Ertz as his backup.
Ertz was there. Then Selleck retired.
God.
I'm going to finish this for you, okay? Selleck was on his last legs.
He had Ertz, who was going to be the next guy to step up when Selleck was gone.
Yeah.
You know what? I had the same problem we were playing.
Yeah, I mean,
earlier. You might need to restart your computer, and if that's the case, we could just stay here and take over. If you need to restart real quick and come back,
yeah, I might have to reboot my computer.
I'm sure we can keep the show going because I got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
so
I'll be right back. I'll got to reboot my goddamn computer, so bear with me.
No problem, man. We'll take it, dude. I was going to ask you though. Who do you think week one, our defense wise, do you think we could get a pick or an interception first? And who do you think that might be if it was a pick or an interception?
I would think an interception would have to go to Slay. Slay is just that top dog at cornerback. He's gonna bring the clamps. And I feel like he's gonna get the first pick of the game.
I actually am going with Slay too. That's who I thought literally was going to get. It was either between that or Dean with a sack or a forced fumble.
Right.
So I was either going Dean or leaning towards Slay, but I think Slay, we all just know Slay so well by now. I think that's the way it's going to be a pick from Goff to Slay. It's going to. Do you think it might be a pick six for the matchup? You think we might see a pick six?
Yeah. I feel like that literally that first pick will be the pick six.
Let's go.
Pick. That first pick from Darius Slay, Clamp City, he's going to get a pick six.
I can see it. I can totally see it happening. Dude, our defense is just so stacked, and we got and it's just unbelievable because, like I said earlier, we have the number one rushing defense, and it's only improved this year, right? Now, I don't know about other teams. They could have the number one, too, but we are going to be definitely a top 3, top 5 rushing defense. That's for sure. Like I said, it only improved. Where do you see our passing defense and how much it has improved from last year?
I would say top 10, top 10, top 5.
Top 5. So yeah, I mean, we with that addition with Bradbury and Reddick on outside linebacker, it's going to be, who knows what everyone's predicting Reddick, and everyone can't wait to see Reddick have a really big game, especially against the Lions. What's your take on Reddick?
Honestly, I was over the moon excited when we got him. I expect Reddick to do great things for the Eagles. Same thing.
What I missed so far?
We were just talking about Reddick.
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick?
Yeah. What do you expect from Hassan? Do you expect a big season from him?
I do. I mean, for a guy that has, has South Jersey ties, I mean, you got to love to see it. Also went to Temple. I mean, the thing too, like I want to see homegrown guys, in the Philadelphia area actually have a big season. I mean, Hassan, he's already entering the prime of his career. So I mean, I could definitely expect a big season. I mean, there's going to be some bumps along the way. There's going to be some games he might not, show up. Well, hypothetically show up, but I mean, there are times where he might get sometimes beat. But then again, you have other guys and we have guys that actually, if you looked at last year, we had guys like say when I'm trying to think of the other line, but I don't know TJ Edwards, when talking about the linebackers, TJ Edwards pretty much stepped up to help to really bring that linebacker court. Because let's remember, we have not had a decent, decent linebacker since the days of Jordan Matthews, and that didn't turn out. That was iffy.
The thing is, we didn't have the best linebacking core even in the Super Bowl run. We had the best linebacker core we had was in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
We were basically saved that 2017 season by the pass rush.
Yeah, the pass rush is pretty much just where it just took over.
That was pretty much what saved us. And plus, the cornerbacks were okay at that time, but we barely had help on that linebacking core since the 2000s, pretty much.
And the fact we have two, not just we're ready, but we had the fact you can have Slay and Bradbury on opposite sides in the secondary, along with with Gardner Johnson in the safety position.
Here's the thing. You just naming the players is getting me excited because right now, on paper, they look like a lockdown defense.
Oh, absolutely!
It's crazy.
I don't think it's really crazy because we know what we're getting out of Slay.
But here's the thing, Rob. This is the Eagles we're talking about, so it is crazy.
Yeah,
the Eagles haven't had a top defense since Jim Johnson.
Yeah, and we all know how great that was.
Oh my God, the best era ever. I don't care.
I think another guy that I feel like is going to have I think you'd say another good season, and that's going to be Javon Hargrave on part of that front seven. Because with the right play calling from Gannon, from what we've seen in the preseason, especially from the starters, I could definitely see Hargrave getting to. Let's be real. I think it'd be another All Pro, maybe another Pro Bowl selection. I mean, because he still got it. And I've seen some tape with him with the Steelers. If he can get back to what he was with the Steelers, even better with the Eagles, who knows, man? I think we're going to have a deadly front seven, especially, and then with the good edge rush we got with Graham and Josh Sweat on both the ends.
And mark my words right now, Rob. Darius Slay will not get snubbed like he did last year for All Pro.
Oh, I fucking hope not, because
he is going to get that
That's
All Pro
where
this
I
season.
would nitpick with the league at times.
I flipped my shit when he didn't get the All Pro. I'm like, damn it. He played like an All Pro last year. Like he played every day. He put his nose down. He worked, and he played hard, and he covered. He put on the clamp all season.
I think he would let him
got All Pro.
Just slightly over 100 yards last year, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Barely even got 100 yards. Barely.
Like, it's like, what does it take to get an All-Pro nowadays?
But
I know, right?
they had a guy who gave up 1,000 yards as All-Pro. Like, what?
Yeah, because I say, let's go off the interception ratio. I was like, no.
Let's just go off of interceptions. No, you're supposed to go after every aspect of that guy's game, and he can't cover for shit.
I mean, the only one, shit. I mean, God, if you really think of it this way, I think if you're going to talk about one guy that, if like say, half they got snubbed, if Jason Kelsey gets snubs for an All Pro, you could imagine the entire Eagles community is going to go off on the league. That's for sure.
Kelsey really needs one more Pro Bowl, and he's a shoe-in for Hall of Fame.
Mhm.
But he'll have to wait 10 years like all unfortunate sinners do. It's like a 10, 12-year wait when you're eligible. But he will get in. It would be he needs one more Pro Bowl, and he'll definitely get in. Because if you look at who are the sinners currently in right now for the Hall of Fame, they all pretty much have 6 or 8, and he's right there at the cusp of 5. So we need to get him one more. That would definitely help Kelsey out a lot.
Absolutely.
But I still think he's going to make it just because of how much of an impact he was.
I think another key is, I think we kind of touched upon it, is try to have a balanced play calling. Because I look at last year, like, I get it. We ran for most of the second half because the passing game just didn't work for us. But now we're seeing what the improvements of Jalen Hurts have done, especially in the passing game, because we know how great the running game is going to be going. If you really think, not just that, I mean, if Sanders can say,
yeah. Long story short,
the running back room.
Long story short, Rob. Right. Long story short. We have the weapons to have a quality passing game. Last year we didn't have that. We had Rager who was dropping passes. We had he wasn't good at wide out. Let's face it, he wasn't good. And the only guy we really ever had was Smith. That's it. That was all we had.
Yeah, Smith was amazing.
And Smith was freaking awesome.
Those corner pocket touchdown passes where he's leaning out of bounds and he's got his feet dragging right there on the right next to the pylon on the corner of the end zone. That was just amazing. Watching.
Yeah,
him catching the ball right out, but he doesn't step out. He just freezes and then does a spin move and still remains inbound. And all the defenders are
the man knows what he's doing. And the man can catch. That man can catch. He can literally he has that good field awareness where he's at, even when he's in the end zone and he's on the edge of being out. He stays in. But the thing is, he was the only guy we had.
He reminds me of Terrell T.O., except he doesn't have the weight. He doesn't have the weight. He needs to get some weight on him. But the way T.O. caught the ball and would move the ball down the field, like from literally just going to stopping and like watching the defenders run by him and then just pick up his feet and keep on running. That's like what Smith can do.
This is exactly
absolutely
how this man's a Heisman Trophy winner. He's the best in college coming out.
This is exactly why I wish T.O. and McNabb didn't have beef. Because oh my god,
that was I wish we had Twitter back then. It would have been crazy.
Twitter would have blew up.
Absolutely.
2005, 2004.
Absolutely. At that time,
there was no way of communicating
because we're looking at what Devontae
today.
Man,
no, because it was because the 2000s was such a plain and simpler time back then. Because I mean, social media was not exist until
social media didn't come around until like 2007. Or actually 2000. Or I mean, social media was getting big because the MySpace was around then, but it wasn't really like widely
like literally, you would only talk to the people locally with about sports. There was no way of
there was no let me follow this
at the games, going to the tailgates. Well, of course, if you were there at the tailgate, you could talk to the people, but you couldn't talk to like everyone at the tailgate. Now I feel like Twitter, you got this whole Eagles family going on where it's like, it's like you're talking to everyone in the whole parking lot.
Yeah, that's how it feels being a content creator. You're talking to everybody in the parking lot. So it's like
let's make our way to the gate. We're getting in. Let's go. I got the flag. Roll
Somebody
with
bring the
marching band, let's
beers.
go.
Somebody bring the beers. I got the hot dogs.
Yeah, you know, funny story. I actually snuck in like 2 or 3 beers to the Eagles game. I had just deep pockets. You just stick them right on in.
I can see him walking in with a fucking Bud Light in his pocket. Like, what?
God, yeah.
I'm still at the link. That's
Which is
right,
crazy.
Mitch.
Absolutely, Mitch. But
I haven't
like I said,
left.
kind of make your thing on Devontae, though. A lot of people say, oh, this kid's too fucking thing. Like, this kid know how to get up a 50-50 ball for a guy of his size. And just, you know,
frozen again there, Rob.
like we said,
But I could still hear him. It's okay. We can still hear you, though.
I can barely hear you either.
it's Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi's fucking shit day. But kind of go back to what I was saying on Devontae, though. The fact that we never really had
sound just went.
What's up?
Damn.
I can still hear
God.
Rob.
I think Tyler might be having audio issues with StreamYard. Am I still frozen on your screen?
No, you're fine. But even when you
I don't
were
think I
like
am.
getting a little glitchy
But-
there, unlike last time, I could still
While
continue to
my
hear.
co-host comes back. Oh my God.
I was going to ask you though, who on Eagles defense for Sunday during this matchup against the Lions, do you think we might get a fumble or interception first?
I think. Oh, I think Brandon. I feel like Jordan Davis is going to be one of those. I think he's going to have some hand into. I think either if he wants to try to get a fumble, because knowing how disruptive Jordan Davis truly is as a defensive tackle.
I can barely hear you
And we've
guys.
seen it at times too. It's just, oh boy,
Uh-oh.
go to use a different site. Yeah, I get. Yeah. All right, let's. How about now?
I can still barely hear you guys.
Are you on Google Chrome or something? But like to answer your question, it can be one or two factors that Jordan Davis I know is going to have a hand in. I think the first interception, I think Kaiser might consider Wade. I think he can come out and surprise people. Now, sack wise, I think Reddick. I feel like if you have Reddick out there, I think he can beat people on the outside. I mean, it can be anybody at this point because the defense is so goddamn good on paper.
I know it is going to be exciting to see because I love defense. I'm a defensive guy. I love seeing offense and scoring touchdowns though. But some people just get bored with defenses. I'm the complete opposite. I love watching the Eagles defense. That's
What
one of my
is
favorite
going
things.
on? I still can barely hear you guys. What?
Yeah, do you have
Oh,
headphones?
boy.
Maybe if we get some
And a
headphones
cord.
on, it might be able to fix the situation.
Yeah, that's it. But like I was thinking too, it's just like the fact with all this move. It's just hopefully.
Okay,
Headphones.
that took like 5 tries for me to get the sound back to where it was.
Awesome.
Yeah,
glad you're
absolutely,
back.
absolutely. So
But I am too. I'm
like
losing hope
I
there
don't
for
know
a second.
because I actually had this down. I think a lot of times I think this is going to be interesting speculation. Jalen Hurts' stat line prediction, like where do you like his pass attempts, like how many passing yards, rushing yards, all that stuff. For me, with the well-balanced offense, which I think if Shea Sykes should go that route, I would say he could have 15, 20 attempts. I could say he could probably make, let's say 15 or 20. I think there's going to be some throws that he might overshoot sometimes. I think passing yards wise, with all the stuff, all the improvements, who's to say? I mean, I say he could be between 250, 275 passing yards, maybe slightly over 275. Now, can it be a 300 passing yard? Absolutely. I mean, we saw. Yes. I mean, most of the games I think the best game we saw out of Hurts was against Arizona. We almost threw for almost 300 yards. I think it was like 280 something against a stacked Arizona offense or defense, should say, and almost beat them on it. Like and rushing yards, that can be interesting because I think he could rack up at least slightly over 200 because I think there's going to be a lot of other guys getting some carries. So and I think he's going to have, I say, 2 passing TDs, and I think he's going to have I think 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns. That's where I'll see Hurts. In some,
I'm gonna have to go.
Well, that's
with,
for just week 1, anyways.
I'm gonna have to go around maybe 250, 260, maybe even 270 yards. Gonna have to say maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns, no picks, and I'm going to have to give his rushing stats a little bit less than what Rob is saying, probably around like 100, 150, because he's going to give that running game a bit more than what they did that first half of the season last year. Because they still have a deadly running game. So he would use that running game, but I feel like he's going to pass more than run. So I'm going to have to cut the 200 yards, 270 yards out of the running game. So
that's the passing yards.
Wait, what did I say for
the rushing yards? Okay.
What did I say for rushing yards again? 250?
I had Hurts between 250.
Oh no, I would have to say 220.
No, because I had 250.
I would have to say 220.
I had Hurts between 250.
Yeah, I would have to.
For passing yards.
I would no for rushing yards. I have to give it maybe in the low 200s, maybe even the high 100s.
Because I had
Hurts. I really don't think he's going to run that much like he did last year.
Well, last year during the Lions game, he rushed 70 yards.
No, and I said this. He's
well,
so it's possible he might get over 100.
He did have less than 100. That's right. I'm going to have to give maybe like 60, maybe even like 50 something yards rushing because he needs to pass first, like we said, and I think he's going to pass first with all these weapons across the field that he has in his arsenal. He can, if he can improve on his accuracy, he's got it. No doubt. What's up?
What's up?
So, yeah, his rushing yards will be way less than what it is. So I'm probably going to have to say maybe 50, maybe 50, 55 rushing yards. But
that's where I'm going. I was going to say about 50, Jalen Hurts 50 rushing yards.
That makes perfect sense.
I feel like he's going to cut that down because like I said, he's got weapons in his arsenal that he can throw to. So I feel like the rushing isn't going to be in his arsenal as much as it was last year because he had nobody last year in the passing game, despite having Devontae Smith.
I still think. Are you done? You go ahead and continue.
I'm done.
I was going to say, I was thinking, agreeing with you about 50 rushing yards, and I think he might get a rushing touchdown. I think he'll run right up in the middle on the goal line and get a rushing touchdown. I think also he'll throw 2 or 3. I'm leaning towards 2, but maybe 3 passing TDs. The rest will be on the running backs. And for passing wise, I'm going to go 240 on passing. I think
that's reasonable.
That it's going to be a passing game situation. I think since Miles Sanders is just getting his full reps in practice, from yesterday and today, it's just not enough, We'll see Miles Sanders, of course, but it won't be like seeing him every single snap like we want him to. We're just going to kind of get him in there and get him back into the groove. So we'll definitely see Miles Sanders, but not like we were thinking. So I think it's really going to be pass oriented. I agree with you guys on the passing game. I think we're really going to see a lot from AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Quez Watkins. So it's going to be a real big show there. And then I think once again, we're going to interchange with Boston Scott, Gainwell, and Miles Sanders. So I'm thinking for Jalen Hurts, he'll get 1 rushing touchdown, about 50 yards rushing, and about 225 on passing will be his stats.
Because
that
I think
is a reasonable stat line. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that we see him, and for what we hear, I think who's to say, man? Like we all say, between 2 and 3. Who knows if he goes off? He might go 3 or 4. And you may never know. We should really think about it because you got Watkins, you got Devontae Smith, you got AJ Brown. Hell, you got tight end, get Dallas Guards. You really can't. You got to factor him into the equation too, because he's going to be, when it comes to the tight end play, he's going to be his main guy with the tight end position. But wide receivers, you got 3 guys he can go to. That's for sure.
Right.
But yeah, so we're coming up towards the back end of the show because, like I said, I have the Raising Yankees game at 7:05 first pitch. You guys want to stick around for that? I think overall. So last thing before we wrap it up is the final score predictions between the Eagles and the Lions week 1. For me, I want to say I think the Eagles are going to put. I'm going to say 35. I think I'm not going to go over the blowout because what the Lions truly are, how scrappy they are. I think they're going to go 35-24. That's my final score prediction for the Eagles, and I think the Eagles will take this W.
I'm going to have to go 35-27 because this Lions team are no slouches, and I feel like they'll put up 27 on us. But I don't feel like they're winning the game. They're not winning the game against us. I feel like we have more to offer than they do on the defensive side of the ball. But they're gonna give us a dogfight this game. So I'm gonna have to go 35-27.
My prediction, I'm gonna go because I'm going off a little bit of last year and how we've improved from last year. And in that game we did so well against the Lions. I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I'm gonna go 37. I think 27, and the reason why I wanted to say 24 is because right now the spread is 3.5, which I don't understand. They're making this a really close game, and I do think Jared Goff is going to improve, and he does have weapons on offense, but you also have to look at our defense. And I think everyone right now that's analyzing this game is underestimating our defense. I think our cornerbacks are set, our linebackers are set. We have the defensive line is stacked. We are going to put pressure on Goff. When it's time to come, we will need to watch out, like I said, for their tight end. We will need to watch out for their running back. But I think we can lock down the passing game with Goff, and I think we should be able to literally get with our offense, with our weapons that we have on the wide receiver, especially having AJ Brown and Goddard, like you were talking about, tight end we have. I think we should be able to get 37 points reasonably. And I think our defense should stop them about 24-27. I'm going to go 27. So 37-27, Eagles.
Okay. Nice 10-point cushion there. That's nice. I could see that too, reasonably.
Because I feel like, last final thought before we head out of here. The fact that, a lot of times some non-Eagles fans realize that, there's just an overlook at this game. If you have not watched any of the games that the Lions have played, yes, I know the record shows otherwise, but they know how to hang in games. Their biggest problem was, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, if they can finish the game. And if you looked at their schedule, they got one of the easier schedules in football. So I think they have a favorable schedule this year. Now there's only 14. I think they're gonna give. Would say.
Yeah, I have a final thought too. This is directed to Chris Sims. Loosen the reins a little bit, bud. I love that you're thinking highly of us, but loosen up a bit. I know you're thinking Super Bowl with this team, but loosen up a bit.
Turn it down a notch.
A little bit.
Appreciate the respect, but man, damn.
I appreciate you, Chris Sims, for giving us respect, but loosen up a bit, man.
Even though but But
I'm just going to end
other
off
than
real
that,
quick
I
and
mean,
say,
that's gonna conclude another episode.
I was just going to say thank you, Rob, for bringing me on. I really appreciate it for you having me on. I was just trying to say thank you. I didn't mean to cut you off or anything. I know
All right,
you're
not
in
a
the
problem,
show
man.
because you got a show. But thank you for bringing me on. I'm Further AM. If anyone didn't know, you can find me on Twitter and YouTube. I do highlights for the Eagles, talk nothing but Philly sports. So I'm at Further AM. And I just want to thank you guys. I really appreciate you bringing me on. We got to do this again. This was really fun.
Absolutely.
Yes. You're welcome, man.
Absolutely. But with all out of that way, I'm going to use with the shitty Wi-Fi connection, but that's here nor there. But that was another episode of the Eagles Top Podcast. I got to get ready for the Rays and Yankees game tonight at 7:05. You guys don't want to miss that. But with that being said, this is all me and Tyler and Further AM. We're going to be signing out. Have a good one, guys.
Peace.